That's true.
Madam Chair, whenever you are ready.
Okay, we will call the Public Works Standing Committee meeting to order for Monday, July 13th, 2026. Well, just to note, Anne is out of town, so she is not at the meeting today, and she will be at the City Council meeting tomorrow. And Mike is unavailable today, so it is just Patty and I, the mayor, and our wonderful guest, Rod Baskin. And if anyone else is online, thank you for joining. I appreciate it.
I'm here.
Okay, thanks. Is that Jeff? Thank you.
I'll comment later.
Okay, thank you. Approve the meeting minutes for June 22nd, 2026.
I move to approve the meeting minutes for June 22nd.
I will second. Any comments on it? Okay.
No.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Public Works update from the Public Works Director. Obviously, Mike is not here. Dave, do you have anything? I know that they're still busy constructions all over the place working, and they're...
And we'll work to get the updates online
Okay.
that are current and accurate. They have started over on the northwest side of town now.
Yeah.
That is related to the EDA
Street
project. It
Okay.
is not.
And that's not COP Construction, that's K2 Civil that's doing that.
Oh.
So.
May I comment here then?
Sure.
Yeah, that was what I was going to comment on, just what Dave was pointing out. After I left the admin and finance meeting this morning, I came home. Whoa, they're across the street and they're taking up the asphalt across Broadway and taking up the asphalt. And the last I had heard, that was going to be sometime later in July, early August. And so I was really surprised. And I did send an email to Mike and just asking him to update the schedule, the information that's on 2026 street projects on the website, because it was a surprise to me. That's it.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see. I don't have to make. I was just going to pull it up on the website.
And then I mentioned there was a lot of water leaks that they've been dealing with last week. It was a lot of busy days and long nights, but
Water leaks in people's houses.
No,
leaks
they're kind of assortment variety. They were not tied, they were not linked. It was something in the ether that was reaching out and drilling holes in lines or something. So.
Okay. And any interruption of services for this location with the EDA? Like right now on 7th or wherever.
I'm not aware of any that they will post them, and they've been really, really good about giving folks heads ups when they happen.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So yeah, it says on the website, milling, excavation, and grading crews will move across Broadway on July 13th. They will begin milling 5th Street, then Hauser, then Villard. The concrete crew will continue pouring curb and gutter east of Broadway on Hagen 5th. So they're pouring concrete for curb and gutter on east of Broadway on Hagen, 5th Street and Platt. And then it did say on the update that they are milling, excavation, and grading crews should be, and that's today, July 13th, that they began milling 5th Street, then Hauser, then Villard. So that is current. Is there something else, Jeff, that they missed on there, or?
Can I interrupt again?
Yeah, I'm asking you, what else was missed on there?
I'm just looking. I just went to the website, the city website, and went to current projects and initiatives, and then selected 2026 street projects. And
yep, that's where I'm at.
Right, and what I'm seeing is last update was done on May 26, 2026. Is that what you're seeing?
No, update June 29th, 2026.
Then I
you
wonder
might
why
need to refresh your. You might need to refresh
your cash or cookies.
Yeah,
that may be the problem then. Okay, that may be why I was surprised, because I've refreshed it a number of times. Let me try dealing with the cookies and see if that changes something. But
okay.
yeah, that's why I was like surprised. What's that?
Yeah, that would be, definitely. So,
That's a good
Yeah.
thought you had.
yeah, so, yeah, there is an update from June 29th on there saying that they would be there today, so.
Okay, that's
That's
my
something-
mistake. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm glad you brought it to our attention. We want to make sure the right information is out there, so thank you. Any other public works updates that you have at this point in time? Okay,
I do not.
okay.
I do know that there is, a couple more days. There were like 4 vacation days that came in for that request, but we've got, Rob is covering the background, so we have covering when Mike is out, so.
Oh, okay,
So, but there will be some additional days that he will be out, just as an FYI.
okay.
He put in a special request and asked if he was entitled to have a life, and we said, okay.
I got it. So, all right. I guess. Just not in the summer, no.
Yeah, you're bad.
We're like, what?
6 months, 3 months.
And not in the winter when we get 6 feet of snow. Poor guy, it's like,
I'd like to
it's,
get 6 feet of snow.
I know,
You can't leave.
it's really, it's hard to be an indispensable employee. I'm sorry, you don't get a life.
Tell me about it.
I know, exactly. No, but we really appreciate his hard work and dedication, absolutely, so, just to put that out there. Parks Board updates, did you go to the last meeting? I know Lonnie went, they had that special Parks Board meeting where they talked about the budget.
Oh, yeah.
I started listening in, but I actually read the transcript because it was quicker than listening to the meeting. So,
I did not go to that, so I can.
okay, okay.
Do you go to the parks?
No, what I gathered just from skimming through it was just we're curious as a board, if the Parks Board budget, if there isn't really, it's a Parks Project budget is what it's called now. It's not actually a Parks Board budget.
Oh, that's
And that was the
better.
$85,000 that we have out of resort tax for the Parks Project budget.
Mhm. Okay.
And, I did hear Mike say, if there's something that you guys want, let me know, and I'll see if we can take it out of the Parks, project budget. So, because they were like, do we have any say in how that's spent, and he's like, well, if it's a worthwhile project, let me know, and we'll see if we can accommodate it, so that was kind of the gist of what
Okay.
I got out of it, but, okay, I'll get it for you later.
No, it's okay.
You're gonna lean over.
Take me 20 minutes.
Patty.
No, I
Oh my-
got it.
Oh my God.
Got it. Thank you. I'll put it there. It hurts.
But, like I say, I didn't read the whole meeting or anything like that, so it will be, and that was the last meeting they had. I don't know if they've had one since the last one, or last
And
meeting.
there's a good share of meetings that are actually getting skipped in July,
Yeah,
between
Absolutely.
schedules and things that are out there. So,
yeah, definitely.
the one thing I will say, Public Works, I'm looking for confirmation, which I think I'm getting at this very second. Jeff, Public Works is leaving after 18 years. And
Yes.
we did a plaque for him.
Oh, good.
So I think that's gonna be tomorrow. I was actually gonna put that as a listed item on the agenda, but there's a copy of the agenda somewhere that didn't get referenced as we were putting together this agenda, so oops.
You can do it under mayor's stuff, right?
Yeah, I can do it under mayor's comments.
It's not like we're taking,
Yeah, you're not taking action.
no, so that's fine. Absolutely, yes. When was this last day, last week or this week, or?
No, I think it's actually like the 24th or something.
Oh, okay.
I think it's gonna make it official to 18 years. Let me,
Exciting.
Nice.
You're like, it's so exciting to retire. I know,
well,
somebody
and-
asked
and
me retired today, I was
very
like,
nice
how
that
old do
he
you
stayed,
think I
because
am?
he could have retired
A long time ago, yes.
years ago.
He is over.
Yeah, Jeff Warner, 18 years. And this doesn't,
15 years of dealing with storm sewer and solid waste, or not solid waste, but whatever you want to call that waste, wastewater.
waste that's not solid.
Waste that's not solid.
It's not rainwater. Doesn't matter if it's 90% rainwater. It's like I said, my favorite question, 10% sewer and 90% rainwater. What have you got?
So that's
That's a tough cookie.
not
there.
a fun job. I know what they, no, thank you. We all took a tour of that. It was,
Oh, you did you?
Did you
Smell
ever
very
do that,
nice.
Patty? Have you ever done
don't.
the tour tour?
Sign me up. I'll meet you at the store.
Mhm. Okay, any other updates for Public Works or Parks Board?
That, I did have a member reach out to me about the roundabout.
Oh, yeah.
They wanted to know about if we were accepting public input, so I'm still composing my reply from 8:30 this morning, but about, we're always welcome public input, and then
Yeah.
you said, about the parks.
Well, there,
Or the-
in the budget,
We
yeah,
have some resort tax dollars for
Like-
catch.
we do, like 75,000, I think, for the,
In my mind, but, yeah.
well, it could change because it's not final. But in today's budget, I think it says 75 that we went over. And that was for the city boulevards in the north entrance, so that would include the roundabout. So, and my understanding was that Mike wanted to, fix some of the, irrigation, the sprinkler drips that are there. They're not, they're
Yeah,
broken.
I think
And-
that's probably part, a little bit for discussion, because if you go to something that doesn't require water, then that becomes
Oh,
necessary.
right,
Right.
good point, okay.
And I think he did mention that he would like to eventually make it that way, but he thought that this might just be a temporary fix and then hire someone to cut down all the weeds.
Like Pride Park, something a little bit more drastic. And
Yeah, so I don't know where that public input would go. I don't know that we're necessarily going to totally redo the roundabout. We're kind of limited on what we can do, based on MDOT ownership. Remember, they wanted to put Chief Joseph there, and that got the big shot down from MDOT because they were like, well, if someone hits your $1 million statue, how are you gonna fill in? And you're like, never mind, you know? And
Who
then,
controls all of that since it's on the highway?
so it's MDOT, they have given the responsibility to us as part of their agreement. There's a certain amount of,
But do you have to get permission to make changes?
no,
well, if we can't put something that obstructs the view, because the big statue, they said also would obstruct the view from people entering the roundabout, not
Right.
being able to see across. You know, so there are some limitations in what we can do, I think, but,
yeah, we would definitely coordinate with them, but yeah, they've made it our
yeah.
response. But I kind of like where Rod was going, which is, if you're not doing it, you don't get to complain when we do it, or how we
Yeah.
do it.
Well, and.
Well, I think it would be, the city's been given the privilege of maintenance, but have they been given the privilege of improving without permission?
Well, I think we would get the permission, but yeah, that's an ongoing conversation that has not been concluded yet. And it does extend beyond the roundabout to
Right.
the,
That's, it's the
to the
boulevard,
boulevards
it's
and
the
everything else.
boulevard,
and
because,
technically, it's the adjoining properties that are responsible for that, but we've got to give them something that's reasonable to maintain as well.
right, and the trees that were planted pretty much all died because they, weren't getting enough water, and then the salt from the road going up is really hard to grow a tree on when,
Right.
that's what I've heard anyway. So whatever chemicals they put on the road makes it so the trees don't really want to live. So.
Make them so they don't want to.
I know.
I quit.
I know. Well, I feel that way about some of my plants. It just doesn't want to live. I'm like, I'm sorry. It doesn't want to live with me.
Signing out.
I know, so. But as far as, the email that Patty got, is there someone is there going to be, public input on that? We did get the letter from RLBA as well, about our whole, the roundabout and being kind of the start of downtown type of,
I don't know
because
if
that
that
is
was
the
an
start of Main.
RLBA letter, that was just from the RLBA president.
Oh,
But having
But
said
it
that,
was-
it is gonna go through parks, so.
no, it was voted on by RLBA to send that to council. Did we get it?
Yeah, we
Okay,
did get
okay,
it.
so I was not imagining it. I couldn't find it in my.
Yeah.
Oh, it was 2 weeks ago. It was last.
Oh, okay, so it was in my
That's what it
packet,
was in the
thank you.
packet.
There was a
Because I
letter in the
read it.
packet. this
That's
packet.
what it was,
A
thank
new
you.
In
one?
this packet?
Yeah,
To-
so, yeah, so
Okay.
I knew I read it, I just
You
couldn't
guys
find
have
it.
to read your,
I read my packet, that's where I saw it.
I'm gonna
I
read
just
it.
remember seeing it 2 weeks ago. I think they
Yeah.
sent it in on Friday, and I think what happened is I printed
That's
it off
right.
last time
Oh,
and
okay,
handed it out at the meeting.
instead of, okay, that's
And then
it.
it went into the packet.
Because I was searching my email today for it, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I read that. I know
I was like, I
did.
didn't see
I handed
it,
out
but
the
I
front.
should have.
It came in after the packets went out, but before the
Okay.
meeting. So it's in this packet, but was handed out.
So, and apparently there, I mean, there's been a lot of input and concern about how it looks
Yeah.
and,
Okay.
and keep getting that. So is there going to be, my question, I guess, is how will this proceed? If they do decide to change it, will we have public input? Will we have,
There will, it'll be
Okay.
via the Parks Board and then also at.
Parks
at
Board,
council.
okay.
okay,
But Parks Board is where it's
Parks
slated
Board
for.
word.
okay, I wasn't sure because it's not a park.
It is actually listed on the parks.
The roundabout is?
The roundabout is listed
Oh
as a
my
park.
gosh, I did not know that, thank you.
It's kind of dangerous. Road, but don't send your kids to that park.
I know, we
The
went
roundabout
out of our
park.
way to draw all the bees there. Let's put all the bees across the busiest corner in town.
Right.
See how many we can paint the windshields with.
Well, that didn't really work. No, it turned into a weed patch, so.
Okay, so Parks
Unfortunately.
Board.
And that,
So I can make a
natural
decision.
pollinating
Weeds.
foliage for bees is not the same thing as what looks attractive to humans. as it turns out.
Unfortunately.
Didn't
I-
you do a lot of work on that?
Yeah,
You were
they-
out there,
Yeah.
yeah.
well, my sister-in-law Jackie,
Oh,
and they
sure.
went and helped pull weeds, and it was like 100, I don't know, it was really hot that
It
day.
wasn't that way. We just
It was
it needed to
crazy.
be done, so we just threw a meet the mayor party.
I know, Jackie came in and she was just like,
Like,
so
you know what I
hot,
just did?
so sweaty.
Facing
It was like, oh
upside
my
down.
gosh.
This year, we just sent Willie out with a weed eater,
That's probably easier.
Mhm.
so.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, guys.
I wanted to go out with a blowtorch and just burn it all, but I didn't know what was in the back. So.
And so
Controlled
that.
fire.
Well, the
From-
fire station was right there.
I know, well, they could have done a training. Not a
So
good
that,
idea.
I just sent to you today, so that'll be in the next packet,
Yeah.
their
I
correspondence.
saw that you got a response. I didn't see the letter. Did you send it? Are you certain?
Oh, just her email?
Yeah.
I thought I forwarded that to you and Lonnie, but, I
I
may
saw
not
your
have.
email saying I got one, but I don't remember, because that was very early. Jeremy beat you, but it was this morning.
okay, no problem. I'll double check and make sure I get it to you for the correspondence for next week, or next meeting.
So, next we have ordinance.
And unless the extent of the email was, my husband and I are curious if the council will be taking info on how to reform the
That's-
roundabout.
that's it.
That's it.
That's what I got, okay.
Yeah, I thought we're supposed to include all public correspondence.
So ordinance 973, first amended, changed to the solid waste ordinance. It is up for, second reading, tomorrow night.
Did you have any thoughts when at the ROBA meeting today, Tom mentioned that, it was not fair to charge businesses $100 fine if
They can't get someone to,
if somebody wouldn't come out to do it.
yeah.
I was completely serious in my response to tell it to the judge, but I don't know that we change our ordinance because of that.
No,
In fact, I think the ordinance gives the businesses the ability to say, you need to do this because.
yeah, you know, if we just had black bears in town, I probably wouldn't, I wouldn't. I know, if we just had black bears, because we've had black bears in town forever. I mean, I used to walk home in the alley and there'd be, where we had bear cans. I mean, and there'd just be like going through can after can after can, and nobody cared, nobody did anything, and now we finally addressed it. And I just don't think, I mean, I feel for them, I understand, because public services is not the easiest company to deal with sometimes, but if you have a business in town, you have to, unfortunately, like, you have to be able to close those cans. And if you can't close them, then I would say do like Red Boxcar did, and, you know, build some type of small enclosure around it and lock it so the bears can't get in it. I don't know, with the grizzly in town, it has to be like a zero tolerance. You cannot have open dumpsters full of food from restaurants for 4 or 5 days while you're waiting for a pickup. we just can't. It's too dangerous. But that's my feeling. If you guys have a different feeling on that, or if we want to talk about it tomorrow at city council before we vote on this, I'm okay with that as well. But I
don't, and like I said, at what point is it worth businesses to pay some additional money for an additional pickup or bringing an extra can or something? I think, and I think actually if businesses are getting hit with, we get fines because you don't come pick up trash.
Yeah.
That gives them something. I think it actually helps get to a solution. So I don't think it's a problem.
Well, the city just paid for extra garbage over the 4th. And with the amount of traffic that the restaurants had and the increase in sales, and I understand they're all on a tight budget, you know, that they need that money to make it through the slow times. But when you have like a huge day like that, an extra $1,000 for a pickup is really, you know, for the whole weekend. I don't know. I guess I'm
But
just
you
not.
say the city paid for it because we have our stuff.
No, I'm saying we, the city, because of the increased number of people in town, we paid for extra garbages. So that our
Extra
garbage,
cans?
extra cans, so that our city ones weren't overflowing, because that's been a problem in the past.
We do that
So-
a couple of times a year for the holidays or.
Yeah,
holidays.
for the 4th of July, and I don't know what else.
Stroll.
Yeah, because we're trying to address it,
And
so.
I don't know if that was the city or if that was the rodeo association that brought those in.
No, we have so many events, it's in our contract, that
Yeah.
they'll bring up
So
extra
we have-
garbage, yeah.
Okay.
And that's the 4th of July is one of them. I don't know,
And right now, I and Mike both have calls into Republic, but we haven't gotten a response. That was going into the holiday.
so they're not, yeah, because they have the contract. I'm gonna say this out loud,
But
because they have
it's
the
also-
contract
it's
now,
not-
they don't have to call
It's
that.
not city stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's commercial businesses.
But it is
And
city
this year
stuff.
also was not as bad because it's when Monday's the 4th that it's really bad.
Yeah, or Monday, or Friday is the 4th, and then you don't get pickup on a Friday, and then you have Friday, Saturdays. Or, I don't know, if they even pick up on a Thursday, or if they, you know, wait, I don't know. I don't know how they do it, and I know it's really frustrating as a business owner to try to deal with that, but at the same time, I mean, we just can't have garbage, period. So, I don't know. I mean, we're giving them, we're giving
All
them
businesses.
so many times for it to be overflowing in the ordinance before they get,
No, we aren't.
No.
You get it first time. You get
Warning.
it the first time. Is there one warning?
It's, I'm just looking at violations from it.
I don't, you can give them a ticket right from the get-go.
Says for each
Yeah.
offense and each subsequent offense.
okay. I was thinking that they would be required to get more pickup or
Yeah.
an additional
If-
can if
yeah.
it's been 3
If
times.
it's been 3 or more.
But you still get a ticket,
Yes.
period. Okay, perfect. So, I was getting them confused, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know, do you want to talk about it at city council? But I personally don't, I don't know.
I think
don't
it's fair
wanna-
to present that that's feedback we've got, but I don't think it warrants changing it.
I know.
That's like saying we're not gonna give out speeding tickets because we can't get everybody.
Well, I guess, you know, you get $100 fine versus paying $1,000 for an extra pickup. It's probably cheaper for them to overflow it. I'm like,
So, and
I don't know.
the violation, it says shall result in a fine of 100 for each offense and each subsequent offense. Should we put something in there like, what if they're trying to get in touch with them? I guess
Well,
they
if you
just need to
change it
take
and start
control.
the process over,
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't want to change it.
and that's like, I said, to me, the answer is tell it to the judge. We did everything in our power.
Yeah,
We can't do it, but like you said, there is an option that's out of there.
They need to.
And I'm happy to
Get it
help
under
from a city
control.
standpoint, but we're somewhat limited.
we are. I mean, if your garbage can is overflowing and you're feeding the bear, that's a Fish and Wildlife and Park violation. It's not, I mean, it is a city violation, but
They show up too.
they show up too. And,
The hard part is that the company providing the service is not as motivated to respond
yeah.
quickly.
And they
Yeah,
say
take
they
care
are,
of it.
but we're trying to have that, put your money where your mouth is conversation.
And the challenge, and I don't know who it is, I guess we'll see when we get our new cameras on it, but the carabiners that hold the lids down on the garbage cans keep disappearing.
Wow.
So,
Oh, on the big,
and
how
then
much
there
on
you
the
are.
round one?
When
way to
you say
secure
keep this with the Bears,
Well, the Bears
Don't
don't know,
have it close
the
to
Bears
the
don't
ball.
know how to take them off, but
I don't even know how to, like,
it's just, it's through a piece of chain, you got a carabiner.
right,
that hooks
no,
on,
yeah, no, I guess, yeah, you could,
And
would,
they disappear.
That's-
Go away.
For mountain climbers, the.
if I was a mountain
Carabiner?
climber, I am not gonna trust a carabiner that came off.
No.
no, it's
Who knows
someone,
who's attracted to it, that they're collecting carabiners off of garbage cans, but
Wow, I didn't think.
they
well,
are.
I know
That would
there's
be
a
an
couple
issue.
of people that go dumpster diving in this town, so it very well could be one of them. They take
So
the
it's just
weirdest stuff out of
Things
garbage cans.
happen outside of the control of the business
Yeah,
that,
well, there's one
Good
thing
point.
between, like,
when
your,
you call the
your,
company to say, we need more carabiners, we'll get you some
yeah,
by the end of summer. Type of thing, you know, it's not like they run up and hand you new carabiners, it's
yeah,
when they get around to it, you'll get new ones. So there's no,
Hmm.
the problem is, all the consequence is falling on the business owner and the providers not being held accountable like they are when they're in contract with the city. They have time frames that they have to meet, there's penalties that they don't have any of that for commercial.
What we really need is competition.
yeah, or we could, I don't know, if you'd ever want to go there, have the city pick up the commercial contracts as well.
I don't think we wanna go there.
I'm just throwing it out there, because then we'd have more control over the person who is, you know, out there doing what they, and not responding, you know. So, I don't know if they would still respond, I don't know. No, I absolutely feel for business owners, I'm not saying I don't, I just don't think with the fact that we have grizzly bears in town, that we can let it, we can have, make an exception for
And I don't
it.
think that the fact that the Republic's coming is a valid excuse.
Maybe responsible
It's,
for it.
it's just like I was speeding because I was in a hurry and I really needed to get someplace.
Well, I mean, I do feel, I mean, I think Republic, I don't know if the bear community, the bear committee that you have made could make an appeal to Republic Services that, you know, in our contract with the city, you've done great, but we are having issues with commercial businesses that are not getting picked up in a timely manner, or they're not getting, you know, the latches to keep these, and we need this to be a Red Lodge thing. And we have an ordinance in
Right.
place now that requires this. We need your help in making sure our business owners can follow the law, follow the ordinance that we have in place. I mean, I don't think that would be out of line.
No, I'm kind of drafting a letter like that in the background.
Okay.
When you talk about carabiners disappearing, how many are we talking? Talking one or two or?
Yesterday, two, they hold on the two
Yeah,
front lids.
yep.
They were on, the other
Do
four were
we
still
have
there.
cameras on them or anything? 'Cause
Not at this time.
I have two thoughts that come to mind. One is we do have some individuals with special challenges within the city,
Yes,
and I could see that as a potential. The other one that kind of comes to my mind is, do we have employees that find them inconvenient and are taking them off and losing them? Because they don't like fighting with them or hassling with them.
They're not that big of an inconvenience. I could see that with a paddle lock, have them go get the key, and they're not that difficult to use,
yeah.
so.
For you or me, but some people have different tolerances of inconvenience.
So-
But if you have
so-
cameras on them,
We're in
that
the
is-
process of updating all our cameras, so
Yeah.
we'll have an answer, we'll know.
we'll eventually have an answer.
The kid that I was thinking of is one that is,
Yeah,
And I've seen him-
I have that thought as a
yeah, me too,
possibility.
because I've seen him go through the market's garbage, and you're like, what are you looking for? And he's like, oh, you threw this away, can I have it? And I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, it's garbage. I'm like, so he just collects the strangest things, and.
But I'm also, you ought to be able to tack weld those carabiners to the chain so that they don't just walk off too, but,
Well, they do break,
yeah.
and they do need replaced, because they get caught in the equipment as they're dumping it,
Yeah.
and so they will break. And so if you do weld them, that becomes a bigger problem.
So if you will draft a letter. I think that would be wonderful. And I don't know how well it will be, but I mean, you could also say the city is cracking down ordinance-wise, and you're gonna have some upset business owners if you're not helping them follow the law.
Ideally, they would have a box of those
Yeah.
Yeah,
in their truck,
and
so that they
available.
could replace them. When they go to dump, they go, oh, we're missing one.
Yep.
Put it on right then instead of
Well,
going
You're
back
pay-
and
you're paying a
reporting that
lot.
they're missing one and they need to get some and.
You're paying a lot for that service,
Mhm.
so they absolutely should be more accommodating. I 100% agree with you on that. So do we need to bring this up at city council tomorrow? Or,
It's just discussion. I think discussion is always warranted, but you could just, I mean, we had a discussion, we didn't feel it warranted revisiting or changing it. But
sounds good.
I'm always for doing the best to represent constituent views even.
Absolutely. No, okay, I'll bring it up that way. Okay, anything more?
Dave
on-
told them, take it to the judge.
No.
Well, it's
Tell it to the
documented.
judge.
Right,
Strike it from the
we've
record.
documented that, so.
Yeah.
I know. Like,
It may help to have the Bear Committee,
yeah,
Yeah, I think that.
because public opinion motivates action.
well, and I know they don't want, the two mama grizzly bears, or the one is a sow, I don't think she has any cubs, and the other one has 2 cubs. I know they don't want them to get in trouble, and they, yeah. And
I will share tomorrow, and I'll share, I've got it already in this letter, that there's been 6 bears killed in town this year. And bears don't get killed for getting in trash, bears get killed because they're charging humans, following humans, pursuing humans
Predatory.
into house. Yeah, it's predatory behavior. There's been 6 bears killed this year.
Is that-
And the feedback I received is that all 6 of those were a result of deliberate feeding. So people are feeding and thinking that they're helping the animals.
Oh, gosh.
And I didn't hear, was that all, did they think they were feeding bears, or did they think they were feeding deer?
yeah.
Or did they think, but.
Well,
but
either
it's-
one are illegal.
It's illegal,
I'm like,
but,
period.
but their feedback was, we've written fines, and it sounds like their fine is about $135 is what they end up writing it for, and it makes 0 difference to the folks that are involved.
Yeah.
Because they're so convinced that what they're doing is helpful for the animals. It really is gonna be a public opinion,
Yeah, like, stop it.
people talking to their neighbors, people talking to their friends, and saying, yeah, that
Well, and
that bear that you saved is now dead.
Yeah. Well, and I have noticed that people from the Bear Committee are speaking out on Facebook when people post things. It's like, do not feed that bear, do not feed, don't, that's not cute, that's horrible, you're killing it. It will be caught and it will be, down. So,
The people who have been feeding them, do they know that resulted in the bear's death? Like, are they notified?
I think so.
Okay.
And that's part of what like I said, I will use the mayor's pulpit tomorrow to share that information.
yeah.
I hope that,
Well-
that the news will pick up on it a little bit. I suspect that they will.
Well-
I do know that FWP is working on getting some messaging out that they're not quite ready to go public on, but we're also in the middle of July, so.
Yeah, and
Could I interrupt?
Yes, please.
Would a community food waste transfer site, say maybe out by the settling ponds, where the collection of, all the branches and twigs and trunks and all that stuff, would there be any sense in having a community food waste transfer location that, say, restaurants could take their food waste to on a daily basis that could be more secure than what they've got behind their businesses? I don't know, just a thought.
That was set up for.
We don't have any place in town that's even remotely close to an appropriate size for a true transfer station. But I wonder about, like I said, I wonder for and the businesses aren't gonna do that, because they measure their trash in yards, not in a bag or two.
Yeah, it would be really hard in the summertime for some of our bigger restaurants. It would have to be a service where somebody came and picked it up and took it out for them.
Well,
I
going to
don't know how
what you
would-
said, Jody, about the city, what you said about maybe the city doing the trash removal and hauling instead of Republic. I mean, it might be worthwhile, depending on, fines and, the extra cost of removing it on a holiday weekend or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the cost analysis would be.
Our public works director comes from a city where they did do that, so he has run his own trash department before, and his input has been consistently, we don't want to go there.
No.
All right.
And I know that we did have that conversation, when we were looking at our last contract with Republic Services and the cost of the trucks and hiring additional employees. We could not do it for the same price we're getting through Republic. It would be probably a significant increase in our trash rates. So at this, because all of that would be passed on to
I'm not, yeah, you'd have to collect what it costs to do it.
Yeah.
And the reality is if we can't get a response from them,
And that is a choice.
it is a choice that we maintain out there, but.
Yeah. It would be a big capital outlay to start. So
Yeah,
I mean,
certainly
I
there
think-
would be. There would be.
I
There
think
would
it's
be,
absolutely
have to be.
worth-
Sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It's hard
Yeah,
when you're not
certainly there
sitting in
would
the
have
same
to be
house.
a bear. There would have to be a bear-proof facility wherever that transfer station would be, and that would be a capital outlay, a big one.
I don't know that we would really have a transfer station per se. We would just use our trucks and transfer to Billings, which is what Republic is doing.
Yeah. But we could have more pickups, especially, could have additional
We could
pickups.
control when the pickups are.
Yeah.
We could make an additional pickup.
That would be the plus side of it, for sure.
Like I said, I would really like to see a genuine, solid competitor in town for businesses, and
Yeah.
slapping a few people with fines might help promote that conversation too.
So right now, the business owners have to schedule an extra pickup, and that costs an extra $1,000.
That depends on the size of your,
Okay.
your dumpster. But yeah, they charge a lot for an extra pickup. It's like
Oh.
a crazy amount for someone, and then they don't always guarantee that they'll come and pick it up when you ask them to.
Oh.
So it's kind of, yeah.
And that was one of the things that came out of the meeting today, was like, it's not just holidays on, it was sometimes snow or broken truck.
Yeah,
Or
so they won't,
broken truck on Mondays or Wednesdays,
Right.
on Fridays or Mondays, sorry.
or they just skip you.
They-
Like, you're like, what?
That happened.
So I mean, I do want to own, I definitely have sympathy because I've been on that end, but I just, with what we're dealing with in town, I think we can't make an exception. It can on a case-by-case basis, we always have leeway, like you say, with the judge or with, whatever.
My understanding is that McKenzie is actually getting a lot more of the trash pickup outside of, or out around the outside.
They are, and I don't know why they couldn't become inside Red Lodge for the commercial, because commercial is different than the res. They said they didn't have the bear resistant cans for us,
To do
for
a
the
bid, yeah.
residential, but a dumpster, I mean, they should have no problem with that. I don't know if we've just never, how much it would, as business owners have ever checked into it. Have you ever checked into McKinsey?
It's my understanding, as long as our current provider is willing to provide the service, another provider is not allowed to encroach upon their area.
And I can find a follow-up on that. That is not true. What happened before, several years ago, there was a provider that came in that did not register with the trash commission or utility commission, whatever, and started providing service. And they did get a case against them, but it was because they hadn't gone through the process. So it's the equivalent of somebody coming in and setting up a food truck and without getting any licensing or registration, or, it's like they can't compete.
The garbage mafia.
Run the ground.
Get your
Garbage pickup.
break your knees.
Deep in the dark.
I don't know, can we do some checking to see if McKinsey actually can come into
Yeah.
Red Lodge? Because I think, if Republic's not doing their job for our businesses, then maybe you know, it might definitely be worth a conversation with McKinsey and say, hey, we have business owners that are having a hard time. What can you offer them? I don't know, it just might be. Okay, we are just about done here, sorry guys, I thought we'd be done by now. Resolution 3746, resolution relating to water system revenue bonds up for action by full council.
I'll let Lonnie give a more detailed discussion of that tomorrow, but the short version is this is just the wrap. This is our water rehab project, but we go in and sign paperwork on the bonds. But we have to wait until that process is all done before we can do that. So it's been completed, but, so it's I'll let her give that presentation, but it's something we knew we'd be doing up front.
Right.
We're financing it, we're getting significant forgiveness on most of them, and I think this one as well. It's just the bookkeeping side of things.
Okay,
But we don't sign things unless council says yes, so.
okay, perfect. Any questions on that from anyone? Any more public comments on anything in the room? Jeff, online? Any more public
Nope.
comment?
Nope.
Okay. All right, anybody else online that I don't know about? Okay, all right, if there's anything else, then if there's not anything else, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for your participation.